We heard a story about the fact that mannequins were banned by Hisbah. In Kano State. Yes, thank you very much, Mara, for reminding me. In Kano State. I would like to hear your thoughts on this, especially because they felt it was idolatry. That was against Islamic injunctions to sell and advertise using those mannequins. What are your thoughts on this? We try to have this conversation because we want to understand each other better. Let me start with Nima. As I said, these kind of conversations are always great because as much as there was this uproar in social media, how can they, what is this? Well, you see, we must always bring everybody back to the center, that we are in this country, we are different, we see things differently, and we must appreciate and celebrate our differences. So could you give me a better perspective, or give us a better perspective, on why do you think mannequins would be against Islamic injunctions?
Okay, let me try and understand, because Hisbah is one police that are facing their work very well. So they are religious enforcement police, and they are facing their work very well for Kano people. But they don't generally reflect what Islam says. So in Islam, we don't allow, and not everybody enforces it because it's not a strict rule per se, pictures or statue within our houses is very close on that borderline of idolatry that we stay clear of. So in my house, for instance, you would never see my wedding picture on the walls, that of my children. Okay. And I do not enforce it in other people's houses that are Muslim. I just don't do it in my house because of my understanding of it in Islam. So there's a saying of the Prophet that, you know, when one of the divinations was coming, the angels could not come in because one of the wives of the Prophet had done a cutting with a picture of an animal or human in their house. So because of that, for those that have deeper reflections in Islam, we don't practice it. But it's not something that you'd expect a police to go up, cane in hand, to enforce in the marketplaces. Because in Islam, again, one very core part of Islam is intention, declaring, being deliberate about your intention towards what you want to use something for. So if a person clearly wants to use mannequin to sell his market, you know, and is not in front of your worship places, you know, I don't expect a clash.
So I also understand that the culture in the North is very conservative. So conversations, I've mentioned it before, conversations around sex, around bodies, not something that they want to do so openly. It shows as if you do not have home training. But I think it is time to start rethinking how we're raising our children. That a child shows curiosity does not mean that child is a spoiled child. Does not mean that child has not been brought up properly or something is wrong with the child. It's just normal curiosity. And when a child is informed, the child can make better decisions concerning themselves and understand themselves. That is why now we're always talking to our children. We teach them about their body parts so that they understand that this is just mine. And anyone that comes close and tries to touch it, you know, they know what to do and who to report to. So it's just okay to have this conversation. Many people have said, because this was very interesting to me, I just wanted to hear what Kano people were saying. And on social media, a lot of them are saying that sometimes those that make up the Hisbah police, maybe they need a little more education and exposure. Because that's where the level of education and exposure that they may have would affect what they think is important and how they carry out those things. Because with more education, with more exposure, you understand and you see different points of view. And so when it comes to this particular issue, it will occur to them that people are not doing this just to be un-Islamic. People are not doing this to be idolatrous. They are doing this for the business of, you know, selling their goods.
Let me come to Nima. Where do we therefore draw the line between education, enlightenment, and staying true to the core of Islam?
I think Hisbah, as a police, and Kano government creating Hisbah, we're looking for shortcuts to solving long-term problems. So if you have a societal problem that needs you to focus on your education system in that state, work hard and make sure that every kid on the street is in school. You can take a mannequin to class and let them see it is made of rubber. You can wear its clothes and see, and you make sure that you teach the children to respect the opposite sex and their bodies and take a time to make sure that is part of your sex education in school.
Right.
Rather than just tell the market person, don't sell or don't display your wares in the most commercial way.
Yeah.
Because the kid will come and lift up the gown.
Yeah.
Because that kid who is in the habit of lifting up the gown, if he does not find a rubber to lift it off, it will lift it up a human being.
Yes.
Because you have failed to do the long-term work. And this is not a work of 10 years. Every child that you see might have that mentality in Kano. Should, because of that child, make it your entire educational system plan part of your curriculum. That's what Hisbah should be focused on.
Thank you very much, Nima. I think you hit the nail on the head.